Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is CA Sandeep Neve. Let's continue with the discussion of ratios. Till date, we have discussed various ratios. You must have seen the videos in my other uploads that I have done earlier. You must have seen the profit and loss ratios. You must have seen the balance sheet ratios. You must have seen the combined ratios taught in a very unique way, isn't it? Okay. The ratios being divided as profitability ratios in relation to investment, or the ratios being classified as turnover ratios. Today I am planning to introduce you to few more important ratios which are very much crucial, no doubt, for your studies, but along with your studies they are very much crucial for any person willing to do fundamental analysis of the share market. Okay friends, so let's start with the ratios. The very first ratio that we'll discuss is earnings per share. Earnings per share, also known as EPS. And friends, let me tell you, whenever I say earnings per share, by default it is always calculated for which shares? Equity shares. Okay, it is always calculated for equity shares. Clear? Because see, it is only the equity shares whose returns are not fixed, they are fluctuating. If it comes to preference shares, then what? Preference shares dividends are always fixed, right? We are aware of this point. Okay, so how we will calculate something per share? So what we have discussed earlier, what is the profit which is available for equity shareholders? You simply take NP80 minus preference dividend, that becomes your profits available for equity shareholders. Yes, and divided by what? Divided by number of equity shares. Okay, this answer will always come as what? Dash rupees per share, right? Because it is earning per share. Okay, now see, if I am the holder of the equity shares, higher the earning, higher is my happiness. I'll be happy wherever I am investing my money, right? If that company makes a higher profit and it makes a higher earning per share, it brings happiness to me. So it's very simple, guys. Whenever a company earns a higher EPS, other conditions remaining same, right? It always reflects in its market price. Higher EPS, higher MPS. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead with the next one. Now see, earning per share, no doubt, very important. But then equally, what next important for me is dividend per share, isn't it? Because see, earning per share, what we can say? Earning per share is how much you earn per equity share. See, earnings makes me happy. Dividend makes me happier. Why? Because dividend money actually comes to my pockets, isn't it? So dividend per share, very simple, guys. How to calculate? Either it will be given in the question that this much is declared dividend per share, or if directly not given, then we can always calculate it like this. Take total equity dividend divided by what? Number of equity shares. Okay, even this should be something like dash rupees per share. Fine. Now again, the basic purpose of calculating ratios, right? You know that what? Absolute numbers, sir, absolute numbers do not tell us the correct story. So we need to get it converted into what? Ratios, isn't it? Yeah, that's why what we'll be doing, we'll be simply calculating the dividend payout ratio. Dividend payout ratio. Now friends, tell me, dividend will be paid out of the earnings, simple as that. So we will just combine the first ratio with the second ratio and our job is done, isn't it? So dividend payout ratio, dividend per share will be paid out of what? Earnings per share. So what will be the formula? Dividend payout ratio, simple yaar, DPS divided by EPS. Okay, yes, we can express this as dash percentage. Okay, now see, out of 100 rupees, suppose company gives away 40 rupees, say for example as a dividend, so that will become 40%, correct? So then if dividend payout ratio is 40%, then but naturally dividend or retention ratio would be how much? If dividend payout ratio is 40%, then the retention ratio would be 60%. So there is an easy way to understand the retention ratio. By now you must have estimated what it should be. Very simple. Yes, it will be 1 minus what? Dividend payout ratio. Understood? If dividend payout ratio is 40%, that is 0.4, then retention ratio would be 60%, that is 1 minus 0.4. Let's do one thing, okay? To understand all these 4 ratios that we have discussed just now, let's take a very practical example for this. Simple example we'll take, okay? Let's take an example. Let us say NPAT is 1,20,000. Company declares a preference dividend of say 20,000. Let's say number of equity shares are 10,000. Okay, and as I told you, question is telling you that certain dividend per share will be declared. Okay, so equity dividend, say declared per share is say, let's say rupees 4. Fine. Okay, from this we'll quickly calculate all the ratios. Okay, so what is our very first ratio, guys? Earning per share. Yes, so how EPS, earning per share, will come? Profits available for equity shareholders divided by what? Number of equity shares. How will get profits available for equity shareholders? We all know that it is NPAT minus what? Preference dividend divided by number of equity shares. So now you know it. NPAT is 120 minus preference dividend of 20,000. So this would be 1 lakh, and 1 lakh divided by number of shares 10,000. So it is going to come to how much? It will come to rupees 10 per share. This is earning per share. See, second one I am not calculating because it is given in the question. Dividend per share 4 rupees per share. As simple as that. Okay, let's talk about the third one, dividend payout ratio. Now you only tell me how we will get dividend payout ratio. Tell me how much total earning per share? हाँ बच्चों, earning per share is 10 rupees, right people? Earning per share is how much? 10 rupees. Dividend per share is how much? 4 rupees. Simple as that. So what will be our dividend payout ratio? You tell me. It will be dividend per share divided by earning per share. So my dear friends, it is so simple that out of 10 rupees you are giving away dividend of 4 rupees. That is 0.4. That is how much? 40%. If dividend payout ratio is 40%, then you tell me what should be the retention ratio. How much company is not giving away? Company is giving away 40%, means it is not giving away 60%. How to write that? It has to be 1 minus dividend payout. That is 1 minus 40%. Yes, I understand. 40% will be 0.4. That is 0.6. That is how much? 60%. Understood? Right? I think this example makes it absolutely clear for you all. Correct, friends? So all these 4 ratios are absolutely clear now. Which 4 ratios we have discussed till now? Tell me. Earning per share, that is profits available for equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. Dividend per share would be generally given in the question. If not given, then we can always calculate. Take the total equity dividend divided by number of equity shares. Dividend payout ratio, DPS upon EPS, and retention ratio is 1 minus dividend payout ratio.